there, how are you today? I was just chatting with my friends Marie and Kirk. You may recognize Maestro Kirk from our trips to visit the Missouri Symphony Orchestra. He's usually the one standing in the front because he's the conductor. Maestro Kirk, what does a conductor do?
Well, if you like to think of the orchestra as a human body, then the conductor is kind of like the brain. The brain tells the body parts what to do, and the conductor tells the orchestra parts what to do, like how fast to play, how soft to play, when to start and when to stop.
Interesting. Now, does the conductor have to know how to play all the different instruments in the orchestra?
Not really. It helps, of course, to understand how all of the instruments are made and how they function and what it takes to play one, but you really don't have to play them all yourself. Now, I play a few of the instruments, but of course the cello here is the one that I play probably the best because it's the one that I practice the most. Now, let me tell you a little about the cello. The cello is like the violin. It's just a big violin. It has also 4 strings. It has a nose that the strings come over. It has 4 ears that hold the strings in place. But most importantly, the cello and the violin are big boxes, and the sound has to come out, and it comes out through these holes here, which we call the sound hole, or the F hole. They're like a bigger F. And the cello, because it's so large, has a much wider range than the violin. We can play from very low to very high. Now, because it has such a big range, it also can play very mellow melodies. I like to think of the cello as a mellow cello. And some of the most beautiful melodies have been written for the cello. We can play mysterious, or we can play beautiful melodies.
Now, Maria, you play one of the most beautiful instruments in the orchestra. Would you please tell us a little bit about it?
I would love to. So this is the harp. It's a concert grand harp. It has lots of strings, 47 actually. And as you can see, some of them are red and some of them are black. And it just helps me to see where I need to put my fingers. And when I put my fingers on the strings, I play with my fingertips, just like this. Some of the strings down here sound very low. And some of the strings up high sound very high. And I'll let you know a little secret. Not many people know that there are 7 pedals on the harp. So here they are, and what do? They change the pitch of the strings. So this pedal is connected to my C strings, to my red strings. It's connected through the column that's hollow, and there are wires inside that connected through to the mechanism up here. So when I push my pedal to the highest point here, it sounds like this. The strings sound like this. Then when I push it down 1 notch, they sound a little bit different. And 1 more notch down, they change the sound. The pedals change the sound of the strings. So you get 3 different sounds from 1 string that way. And it allows harpists to play beautiful sounds just like this.
Wow. Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Those are very interesting instruments, aren't they? Now, Kirk and Maria, I know you've been playing for a long time and you've been practicing for a long time. So does that mean that when you play now, you don't make mistakes?
Yeah, we still make mistakes. Mistakes are good. Mistakes help us understand that we still are learning, that especially when we play a new piece of music that we are trying to learn and practice together, we make mistakes and we learn from our mistakes.
So you're saying that mistakes are a good thing?
Yes, mistakes are definitely a good thing, and even the best musicians in the world still make mistakes.
Kirk, the students in the Missouri Symphony Conservatory, when they make a mistake, do they hear it right away, or do you sometimes have to tell them that they made a mistake?
I think both. I think all good young musicians know when they themselves have made a mistake. But sometimes the group makes a mistake, like playing too loud, or playing a little too fast. And that takes a conductor or somebody else to tell them. They're not telling them off, we're just telling them that as a group we're making a mistake. Not you individually, but just collectively. Sometimes an orchestra makes mistakes and it takes a conductor to tell them that they've made those mistakes.
Interesting. Maria, do you have any advice for someone playing that has made a mistake?
Sure. I think it's important to remember to forgive yourself and keep trying.
And I think that probably when we practice not just to get it right, but we practice to never get it wrong.
Thank you. That's wonderful advice. Now, Kirk and Maria, when I came in today, you were actually practicing a piece, and I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind playing that piece today for me and my friend.
We'd love to. The piece we'd like to play for you that we were playing is called The Swan, and it's by a French composer, Camille Saint-Saëns. Now, if you can think of a swan is a really beautiful, elegant bird. And this swan is sitting on the river or lake, and we hear the harp playing the rippling water while that beautiful, elegant, slow swan glides over the top of the water.
Wow, what a special treat for us to get to hear some live music today. I've really missed it. Thank you, Kirk and Maria, for playing for us today.
You're very welcome.
Our pleasure. It was nice to meet you.
You know, I think that when we make mistakes and we learn from them, it not only makes us better musicians, but it makes us better humans. We are learning every day, and we're going to make mistakes. Sometimes we can make big mistakes and not even realize that we're doing it. It's times like these that we need some help to know how we can do better. And it's important to remember, just as Maria said, that when we make a mistake, we need to forgive ourselves and keep trying. And we need to keep helping each other to be the best that we can be. I'm so glad you came to share some music with me today. You always make me feel so happy. I'll see you soon. It was so lovely. It was really, I could really see the swan on the lake and the beautiful blue sky.